Whenever I'm walking past somebody, I put my phone away and I stare them directly in the eyes until we pass each other. I'm just kidding. I can't look people in the eyes. Um, the book of Ecclesiastes says that there is nothing better for a man, and I'm paraphrasing here, and it's being hyperbolic when it says nothing better for a man than to enjoy his. Well, maybe it's not being hyperbolic because at the time the book of Ecclesiastes was written, you know, salvation by way of Jesus Christ was not available, which I would argue is the best thing for a man. But before that, the book of Ecclesiastes says the best thing for a man is to basically enjoy his work, his labor, and then to enjoy whatever he gets from his labor, like the fruits of his labor. So, like, if you own a farm, then you reap the harvest, and yeah, like you enjoy the potatoes or whatever. And it not like after you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, then yeah, that the next best thing is kind of to enjoy your labor and to like stop at Dollar General and buy some snacks afterwards. Because like what else is there to do? Nothing really. I mean, and once you become old enough, you get to the point where things like video games, they still always be entertaining, I think, for most of us. Just it's they get to the point where they're not really fulfilling anymore. And I feel like if you're the kind of person that likes this channel, then you probably have gone through a phase. Like if you were a gamer, you've probably gone through a phase or two where you just stopped in like having fun with the things that you were having fun with. Honestly, when I try to consciously enjoy, I'm so sorry for coughing. When I try to consciously enjoy my work, even though it's like not, there's really nothing like, too exciting about it. It's just, you know, I try to like work with integrity and do a good job. That's fun in a way, or it's fulfilling at least. And you go home with the money that you've got, and you've paid your taxes and everything because you're um because you're a good guy. I'm gonna say. Um, then it's nice to just kind of like be alive sometimes. Um, but then I guess you get to the point where you're like, dang, I kind of wish that I wasn't just doing this just for myself and like I had a family or something. But honestly, I'm not even sure. I'm really not even sure if I want kids or like what I'm gonna do exactly because I prefer. I like it when things are simple. Um, I just don't. I don't like it when things are complicated and I have to have a full schedule. And like for example, I don't really go to the dentist or to the doctor or anything like that. I pretty much avoid doing anything I can that complicates my life at all. Um, and I just take care of my own teeth and I take care of my own health. And the way I figure it, we're all going to start degrading at some point, like our physical bodies, like they're going to perish. Um, and I feel like I've been gifted where I'm smart enough where I can take care of myself pretty well. I think that most people don't take care of themselves very well, and that's why they have to go to the doctor. And I think that maybe I could benefit like a little bit from going to the dentist, but really, I take care of my teeth pretty well because I floss twice a day and I brush, Um, and I just try not to. I try not to eat. I eat a lot of sweet foods, but I try not to like do consume something that will coat my teeth for too long, if that makes sense. So like, I don't really drink soda except very rarely. Um, and I don't even really like it that much. Like I like the gourmet soda that I can get in like a glass bottle. Something like chocolate will coat your teeth, and I really like chocolate, so I still have it every now and then. But I feel like you gotta eat something else afterwards, or brush your teeth or something, or like clean your teeth with your tongue or something, because otherwise that sugary stuff will just coat your teeth, and then like over time that does a lot, especially if you eat chocolate like a lot. Chocolate's definitely an S tier food. It's pretty cool. I think that it's usually too sweet, at least here in America, though. Everything is too sweet in America. I bought some sugar-free ketchup recently, and I forget what that sativa, like it's sativa extract. Like, what's the point of giving me sugar-free ketchup if you're gonna put sativa extract in it? Because that stuff makes it sweet. And the reason I bought sugar-free ketchup is so that it wasn't going to be sweet. I didn't want um, something sweet. But I guess maybe they have to do that. Maybe it helps preserve the ketchup. Because realistically, it's like, how on earth does restaurants don't restaurants like just leave ketchup out on the table sometimes? Or is that just mustard? Is that just a mustard thing? Um, it must be cooked tomatoes pretty good, because there's no way you could do that with raw tomatoes. Um, Now I'm sitting here wondering how do they make ketchup even? Um, but it doesn't really matter. The problem with having a wife and a family or something, it is just how much responsibility it really is. But then again, it's hard to imagine going like another 60 years or so, probably more than that, with how our lifestyles are changing in modern medicine. Well, modern medicine kind of sucks sometimes, but just I'll probably live a long time. um, and it's like, I don't know. If you're going with the biblical principle, it's either one woman, or if you're a woman, then it's one man for life, or nothing. And I guess the exception to that is if you marry somebody and they leave you and like have relations with somebody else, or if they die, then you could marry another person. But that's the exception. Uh, and I just got a notification on my phone. Somebody commented on my Metal Gear Solid video, Metal Gear Solid Combat Evolved, because the thumbnail was Master Chief, which was auto generated, and I just left it because I did not care. Uh, Now I lost my train of thought. But, I mean, I don't know. There's this girl I really like, and it's weird because I kind of I don't know. I don't know if I really want to talk about her. Um, but it's just a trade-off with whatever you do, because you're either you be alone and you have all that freedom, or you basically chain yourself to somebody and you have all that love. Um, and I don't know. You know, it kind of just depends on what your perspective is on what's good for you or not. I know there's the one YouTuber I talk about. I mention him all the time. Um, so I'll just try to avoid saying his name now, just because I feel weird talking about him all the time, but he was saying that like in many videos, he's just never wanted to be in a relationship, and on some level, I'm a lot like that, where I don't really want a like the I the abstract idea of a girlfriend is not very appealing to me. I guess the idea of having a wife is appealing to me though, but that's because you can have kids and stuff, and there's more commitment and certainty that it's going to last and it's not going to be a waste of time. Um, if I was not a somebody who followed biblical principles, though, I guess what I would do is just never get married and then just hang out with as many, just be with as many attractive people as I could, um, and try not to have children with them, or maybe I would try to have as many children as I could anyway, while being rich, so that I could pay all that child support. But realistically, if I actually wasn't a person that followed biblical principles, I would probably just have, um, I don't want to say like the thing that you do when you don't enjoy life anymore, but I probably would have done that a few years ago at some point, or tried or something, or done it like recently or something, because I just don't, there's like, I don't know, I just don't vibe with the world. I don't like it. And I talk about that all the time. But I would be so, I don't think I would have made it, um, if it wasn't for the peace of God that I get. I don't think I would have made it. Because I'm just not made for this world. And, like people, I am not, um, in, in my view, I am not an antisocial person. It's just that I don't really like most people. Like the vast majority of people I don't like. And I don't see the point in in a lot of like socializing and conversing and interacting, because there really isn't a point. It's just people do it for the sake of it. So sometimes somebody will talk to me. Well, actually, that's part of the reason why I never, almost never, like initiate conversations with people unless if I'm trying to learn something, or I'm trying to teach them something, or there's some problem I'm trying to solve. That's basically when, or maybe I'm just trying to have some fun, but that's kind of rare. I don't know. Dang it! I went off a tangent and I forgot what I was saying again. Sometimes people will say something to me, and I try to think of like what's the logical response to what this person just said to me, and I can't think of one because there really isn't one. Or maybe like the logical response is like, oh, haha, yeah, haha, yeah, yeah. And I mean that's kind of what I do. Some guy was telling me about how he lost a bunch of money the other day, and I'm just like, oh man, that sucks. And then like that was it. I'm kind of just like went on with it. But most people would be like, oh dang, like, oh that's terrible, man. I'm so sorry about that. Um, man, maybe like blah blah blah, or like, man, that's rough. I remember this time back in '93. Man, I had all this money and some guy took it from me. Like somebody, they would just have more to say, and I don't really have anything to say, because in my mind, the most logical thing to do when something goes wrong that you can't fix is to just move on. So when something wrong happens to me, I'm not gonna say that I don't ever have a emotional reaction to things, because I do, but I definitely have less of an emotional reaction than almost everybody else. And that's part of just being an INTP, is you have that villain introverted feeling, which it basically means like your own feelings practically don't exist most of the time. And then when they do, it's like overdone, and you crash out, or you fall in love too hard, or something like that, or you start weeping uncontrollably or something. But yeah, anytime like something bad happens that I can't fix, I might get frustrated, but it's just kind of like, oh, I guess I'll move on because there's nothing really else to do besides that. I remember one time hearing that the Inuit people, and that's the Eskimos, but they consider that a slur, or so I've heard. The Inuit people traditionally thought that anger and frustration were very childish emotions. So in their culture, it was very rare to show any of that into adulthood. If some and they considered it unproductive, and it is. That's basically the whole thing. It's like there's nothing. Uh, if I watch somebody getting angry about something, there's usually no utility in getting angry. Sometimes there is a utility in getting angry because you can get mad at someone and basically frighten them into doing something, or just express your disapproval so that something doesn't happen again. Um, but usually it just kind of slows things down. So the funny thing is because my mind, I'm an introverted thinker, and so I kind of think my way through these situations. Like, it's almost like, actually everybody technically operates this way. We think before we feel, so our feelings are based off of our thoughts, um, basically. Um, I don't know if I really have too much to say else besides all that, and then we're about 20 minutes in, so I think it's probably a good time to stop.